Hello, welcome to this video on Dhammapada, chapter 6, that's the Pandita Vaggo, verse 7, verse 82 in the consecutive numbering. As usual, I will read it out once without the text up on screen, and then a second time with the text on screen. Yathapi rahado gambhiro vipassanno anavilo evan dhammani suttvana vipasidanti pandita. Now I will call up the text. Here we are. Yathapi rahado gambhiro vipassanno anavilo evan dhammani suttvana vipasidanti pandita. The word yatha, it correlates with tata, yatha, tata, as, thus. And the enclitic particle api, which is very frequently shortened to pi in Pali, but not in Sanskrit. Frequently it means even, twamapi, even you. But yatha api, which becomes yathapi, just reinforces it. So instead of saying as, it's become like just as. It doesn't really change the meaning, it just reinforces exactly in the same way. Yathapi, just as a gambhiro rahado. Gambhira is an adjective meaning deep, and it's used just as it is in English and other European languages, has a figurative sense as well. Deep in the physical sense, as in, for example, deep water, and deep in the sense of profound, as in profundity of teaching or wisdom or that kind of thing. And rahada, it means a pool or a lake. There's an interesting bit of etymology here. In Sanskrit, the equivalent word is hrada. And I will just call up Moni Williams for you on that. Pull up Moni Williams. Sorry, Moni Williams. Here we are. The hrada. It appears to be connected with the hlad or hrad root. A large or deep piece of water, a lake or a pool. By standard phonetic mutation between Sanskrit and Pali, you often get, you get a h with a liquid vowel, that's a r, v, l, y. They often transpose themselves. That is why you get in Sanskrit, the hrada, the r and the h swap positions in Pali, but because the Pali can't begin with an RH, in fact, very rarely does it begin with two consonants together, you have to put an a in between them. So rahada is simply the Palified form of the Sanskrit hrada. And it seems that it could be connected, this hlad, with our English gladden, something which gladdens you. The idea is something that refreshes or gladdens. Hladayati in Sanskrit, to gladden. The idea is not just a pool, any old pool, but the imagery here is a refreshing, gladdening pool of cool water is the imagery behind this. So not just a deep lake, but a deep and refreshing lake. So just as yathapi rahado gambhiro, a deep lake, Vipasanno anavilo. We have dealt in the past with this pasanna and vipasanna. I'll take you back to 6.4 of this chapter. Nearly there. Well, 6.4. So here it's used in the figurative sense with a chetas, with a mind that is vipassana, so vipassannena cetasa. It's the meaning of settling down. The imagery is of stirred up muddy water, and it's taken on in significance, as I say, as a desirable mental state. It's often used to mean you're pleased with somebody, but it's much more than that. It means that the mind itself is purified. The imagery is the bits of muck and gunk in the water, stirred up muddy water, with it settling down, leaving the purified water there. The same imagery applies to our own mind, with all the stirred up muck and gunk in the mind. Then you let it settle, and you have your pure clarity of mind. And I've explained here, I won't go through it again, about what prasada in modern Hindi, prasad, means in offerings to the deities. It makes the mind of the deity become prasanna towards them. Viprasanna in Sanskrit, vipasanna suggests not only that has it settled, but the vi suggests all the muck not only settled to the bottom, but has been got rid of entirely. That suggests that, but it could just be an intensive form with that hint of meaning there. Totally, not just cleaned, but cleaned out. Get back to where we were. So this now, this imagery, which in the Pali literature we most often see applied to the mind, is here applied actually to the physical water, used as imagery for the mind. So just as a Rahadogambhiro, this deep lake, Vipasanno, calmed, in other words, the muck not stirred up, Anavilo, non-foul. We can't quite fix the etymology for this. As I said, it's questionable whether it's from bil or vil, meaning to break or split. We just don't know. It's not very convincing. Even the questioning one, the questionable one, isn't very convincing. So this is one of those words that we just have to accept. That avila means turbid or foul, and said especially of water. And then the negative form, anavilo, non-turbid, I mean clear, pure. So just as this deep lake, settled, non-turbid, evam dhammani suttvana vipasidanti pandita. Now remember this root sad, to sit, exactly cognate with our sit, becomes seed in the present tense. So it's not vipasadanti, vipasidanti. It's just a slight irregularity there. So the past participle pasanno is one of these past participles with a n rather than t, which is why it's viprasadna, vipasanna, viprasanna in Sanskrit, vipasanna in Pali. So yatapi, just as a lake that is clear, water not all stirred up, evam, thus, in that same way, that correlates with yata. Yatapi, just as, evam, in that way, in that same way, pandita, wise people, vipasidanti, okay, their minds become pasanna, their minds become clear, dhammani suttavana, having heard the teachings or upon hearing the teachings. for the absolutive, you are, let me just call up, sorry, just trying to call up my, here we are. We are. The normal absolutive ending is twa, Sanskrit and Pali. So we have the root shuru to here, which in Sanskrit makes shrutva regularly, and in Pali, again entirely regularly, makes sutva. In Pali, we have an alternative absolutive ending, which is twana, which you don't have in Sanskrit. So in Pali, the occasional, you far more commonly see the twa ending, but occasionally you'll see the twana ending. There's no distinction at all in meaning. So this Pali alternative ending, sutwana. Oops. Just trying to. Oh, sorry, I can't get rid of my. I'm trying to remove my, drag this screen away to display the text, but I've got a bit stuck with it. So let me just pause it. Yeah, here we go. I've got it. And at the same time as I call my screen back, I've lost the I've lost the text box markings. Don't know where that happens. I'll try and get them back. Okay, here we are. Oh, I got them back, and now they've gone again. So okay, evam dhammani suttvana vippasidanti pandita. So just as the rahadogam gambhiro, the deep pool, vippasando and avilo, calmed and non-turbid, just like all of that, the deep lake. Evam dhammani suttvana, thus having heard the teachings, the dhammas, wise minds, meaning the minds of wise men, are calmed. But remembering also there's a lot more to this word, vippasidanti, than simply calm. There's a lot more than that. One more point. You are used to seeing Dhamma as a masculine noun, which it mostly is. Occasionally, it turns up as neuter. So we would have expected to see here. The accusative plural, which would have been dhamme. We instead see that's a masculine accusative plural form, and this is the neuter nominative and accusative form. It just occasionally happens. Just one of those things that we have to accept. So I'll read it once more then. Yathapi rahado gambhiro vipassanno anavilo evan dhammani suttvana vippasidanti pandita. And that concludes this video.